And we are live for some Tuesday evening Chair League action on May 31st, 2016. We have a high octane bout between Smash Mouth All Stars and Big Damn Heroes on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And I am getting my bearings set. It's going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. We got two fairly prominent and well-known teams in Chair League. Both teams been around since if not the beginning, at least early on in season one. So both veterans of the game and familiar with all the ins and outs that it has so far. And no huge surprises starting off. Ban from Thrall on the side of Smash Mouth. Not wanting to have a strong lane presence on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Thrall very good at just holding down a lane, being around to scoop up gems, and fairly difficult to deal with in a one-on-one fight. Big Damn Heroes taking out a big damn hero of their own, Kael'thas. Lots of incredible damage output. Can just wreak havoc at the turn-ins, so they don't want to deal with that. Zul's going to be the pickup for Smash Mouth. Very strong laner in his own regard. I can see why they wanted to get rid of Thrall if they were aiming for Zul from the onset. Thrall's a pretty substantial answer to Zul. And he should be able to have his way with a lane on the board, if not contested by Big Damn Heroes. Li Ming will be the first pick for the BDH. Plenty of damage and plenty of strong output, and there's the hero's answer to Zul in the form of Zagara, one of the few specialists in the game that has enough push and power to outpush Zul under the right conditions. If the game was as simple as a one-on-one in the lane, then the advantage should go to Zagara, but rarely do games of heroes go as polite and rule-bound, as clean as that. So other heroes floating in and out of the lane will certainly change that equation to Zagara's chagrin. Smash Mouth is going to keep on the high damage selection with Jaina. Already kind of tilting a bit towards a crowd control heavy beginning with the roots for Zul, the slows for Jaina. And both very high damage, so these two should pair well with anybody else they decide to select. And Johanna is going to be the frontliner in charge of keeping both of them alive when it comes to the big brawls. And I hadn't seen a whole lot from Johanna here until about maybe a month ago. She was really strong several months ago, and I'm not all up on the patches. But I do understand she took a bit of a hit, but is now kind of coming back into things. Maybe the stun cooldown, or maybe the stun duration reduction on a bunch of other tanks has made her better by comparison. And she's always been good, and it certainly has a place now. Big Damn Heroes with a big damn support ban in the form of Rhaegar. Wouldn't be surprised to see them pick Uther after that, and they do, to make sure that they're going to be solely winning the good support game. Smash Mouth banning out ETC. For all the quasi crowd control they have, they don't have a lot of stunning potential outside of Johanna right now, so they just don't want to worry about Mosh Pit, and a reasonable fear to do so. Muradin will be the other tank, or the only tank so far on the side of Big Damn Heroes. And so far, Big Damn Heroes has a team that should mesh well with whatever their fifth pick is going to be. If it's something fairly standard, or if it's something kind of tricky, they should be able to adapt these four heroes to whatever they want to build, and should have a reasonable amount of success with what they're trying to do. Smash Mouth with their fourth and final picks, deep into their stoppage time. They're evaluating the state of the board, and they pick their support in the form of Lieutenant Morales. Certainly a high impact hero, especially in the early game for those early team fights. Can just, if well protected and glued to the back of a priority hero, can be a strong force to be reckoned with. The stunning potential for Uther and Muradin will likely pose the biggest risk to her. So as long as she can stay mobile and stay agile and avoids getting locked down in place, then at the moment it looks like she'll be able to provide a positive impact to the board. Time getting low on the side of Smash Mouth. Only 7 seconds to go for their final pick. Discussion must be deep and heavy. The last second selection of Jim Raynor to pair with the Morales and can represent an enormous amount of damage if Morales decides to go with the Stimpack build. So that's going to be in the theme for Smash Mouth. A couple of assassins, a big old frontliner, and it's going to be on Johanna to keep the onslaught of damage and stuns from Big Damn Heroes at bay. Johanna can certainly withstand an incredible amount of punishment, but as soon as it looks like she's going to fall, that's the only line of defense that everybody on Smash Mouth has. So they'll need to be aware of that, and that they might be able to have some success with their team. Big Damn Heroes, 30 seconds to go as they figure out their final pick. I'm not sure what specifically they may be going for here. They have some lockdown potential with Uther and Muradin already. Maybe they want to add some more just to augment that. Maybe they want to go for some damage. Maybe they want to pull out something wacky and crazy. Who knows? We've seen all sorts of things here, and Rexxar is going to be the final pick for Big Damn Heroes. So they are going to get another tank, sort of. This will be my first match with a Rexxar in the game, and I'm very excited to see him. I know he's much better than he used to be, and we'll see how it plays out. So, interesting draft from both teams, and we'll see how things play out. And we are live on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Tuesday night chair league action. And on the side of the blue team, we have Smash Mouth All Stars with Blackout on Jaina, Philosophy on Raynor, Garrar on Johanna, Solo on Lieutenant Morales, and Ezekiel Rage on Zool. And for the side of Big Damn Heroes, we've got Clog of People, so I'm going to pull this up and cheat a little bit. We have Cowboy Kyle on Rexar, Good Doctor on Zagara on the bottom, 187 on Uther, Belias on Muradin, and Jaleese on Leeming. Towers are up, gates are down, heroes are running towards the middle, and we should see some violence here in just a moment. Bit of a party bush as Johanna looks to lock some people down into Johanna's blizzard. A lot of damage going down on Uther already, but not quite enough for a takedown. Both teams withdrawing out of the danger zone, just happy to poke and prod, get what damage they can. Misha going ham on Jaina will fall for a modest experience gain, but no real takedown. And so it looks like both teams going for a fairly predictable, fairly reliable setup. At the bottom we've got Zool and Zagara doing their eternal dance, laning in the bottom, and everybody else looks like they're going to be rotating between mid and top, trying to glom up as many gems as they can. Johanna doing a solid job staying out in front, protecting all of her teammates from that from the ferocious damage of Big Damn Heroes. A lot of damage coming out on Raynor. He's going to get glued in place for a bit. A big orb comes down, will almost take him out, but Morales is able to get her heals on, and will quickly restore him back to his prime self. You know, Johanna showing absolutely zero fear here, just no worries about getting into the middle of minion waves, and the entire team of Big Damn Heroes doing what her job is. So both teams very solidly rotating, doing a good job collecting gems, not letting any slip by them. A very small gem lead for the side of Smash Mouth All Stars, but nothing. Both teams still fairly far away from a big turn-in. Zagara looks like she is winning the race in bottom. Creep Spread is able to give her a good heads up, and to win mid might rotate down to give her some problems, but isn't happening yet. Johanna trying to sneak in some, and Zool is going to fall. Sorry we missed the takedown there, but that we saw roots going down on Zagara, and I'm guessing Zool went in to try and implement some sort of damage, and Zagara just responded with everything Zagara does, putting lots of frustrating minions on the board. And so Zool being out of the game for about 15 seconds is going to overall weaken Smash Mouth's ability to lane, because they have to send some heroes down to make sure they can, maintain that experience parity with Big Damn Heroes. You'll notice that despite that takedown, Big Damn Heroes only has a marginal experience lead, just a sliver of a level ahead. So good job on Smash Mouth not getting flustered by that early takedown, able to recover very well, and the game continues. Big cluster gathering here on top, trying to see if they can catch a spare moment to put Johanna's 23 gems in the bank. Smash Mouth very close to a turn-in. Big Damn Heroes also have enough, so they're we should expect the violence meter to get turned a little closer to 11, as both teams are trying to eke out an advantage and get that first wave of spiders to propel themselves to an even bigger experience advantage. Most of the gems for Smash Mouth are in the pockets of Johanna. The gems for Big Damn Heroes are mostly in the bank. They only need 9 more, and currently Rexar is the only person with enough in hand to do that, but Muradin's very close to Jane has taken a great deal of damage. Morales is going to get the beams online to save her just in time. And this may be a bit of the gamble with having a one primary tank build from the side of Smash Mouth, is when it comes time to turn in, if your gems are on Johanna, which is fairly likely since she's going to be out in front, Johanna's not... No one's really in a good position to protect Johanna from turning in. So Smash Mouth may find it difficult as the game goes on to actually get a moment to put those gems in the bank. But Big Damn Heroes will get the first turn in. Spiders are en route. All heroes on the board at the moment. Misha should be joining us very shortly. So far, no takedowns yet on either side. Smash Mouth doing a good job starting in the top and looking to filter their way down through the lanes to prevent the spiders from doing as much damage as possible. Top gets very little accomplished, but does tie up Smash Mouth for a great deal of time, letting this mid spider and the bottom spider do a substantial amount of work. That tower just barely standing with a sliver of health, but so far it looks like the spiders are not going to get any major structure damage, well, any structure takedowns for Big Damn Heroes, so they won't get that experience lead they were hoping to achieve. They're in a good position to pick it up later. There's a lot of towers at very low health that Heroes should be able to pick up at any point in time. A lot of damage coming down against Johanna. She is going to get the turn in, but is it going to cost her her life? It doesn't seem so. Big Damn Heroes pulling out. They don't want to lose a hero in the face of the spider turn in. And so a good immediate recovery for the side of Smash Mouth, able to turn it around quickly and get the spiders back on their side. And as the game goes on, each successive spider turn-in will do more and more damage as the levels go up. So this turn-in is actually a little better for Smash Mouth, just being a slight level ahead, or a couple levels ahead from where they were before. Looks like the crux of the army for Smash Mouth is going to be here in mid. They will get the towers taken down. They are slightly ahead in the race to level 10. A couple more towers must have fallen with some big chunks of experience going to the side of Smash Mouth. Bottom Spider still doing a bit of work here under the guidance of Zool. Zagara dodging the big wave that comes out. And at this point, Zool may want to be careful. The other team knows where he is, and he's not in a great position to escape from this. Rhaegar is going to come down and put Zool directly in harm's way. So teams, again, about equal on experience. Big Damn Heroes suffering a bit on structure count. Most of their walls are totally gone, with some minor damage on the forts. All of the towers look to be standing for the side of Smash Mouth, and a large part of that's in credit to this hero mule here, who's taken this one tower all the way from no health to almost full. That's not an often picked talent, but sometimes it's just exactly what you need. Big sprawling fight taking up a lot of the bottom to mid turn in. Big Damn Heroes looking to turn in as many gems as they can. They have enough for rebuttal spiders of their own. They've got a great deal of them on Rhaegar rather. He's going to attempt to slam them in the bank. Jane is going to try to delay this, but I think she's going to run into way too many stuns for her to handle, and she's going to get removed from play. Meanwhile, the rest of her team is trying to deal with the Li Ming that's antagonizing them in top, but it's not going to be just her for long, as the remaining Big Damn Heroes in the area go to give her some support. And Rhaegar can't quite get a moment's peace to turn these gems in, but he may not he may not need to, as Zagara and someone else on their team should have enough gems to complete it. Hyperion come down trying to continue the zoning out from Smash Mouth All-Stars. They would really like to enjoy a takedown from this, but can't quite get it. All the heroes look to be just not quite arriving at the same time. But as we say that, a great big chunk of damage coming down on Uther. He has to pop his Divine Shield to survive. Johanna is going to fall, and that few seconds of time is going to force Smash Mouth to retreat from the fight once again. Zagara turning in her 6 at bottom. Rhaegar will get his high amount of gems in to make the third spiders of the game go to the side of the big damn heroes. And we should see this wave of spiders do some substantial damage to all the lane's walls. I wouldn't be surprised if they got 1 or 2 forts out of the deal. Essentially, wherever Smash Mouth All-Stars don't ball up first, we should see some heavy fort damage from the spiders. Looks like Zool is going to continue contesting Zagara 1v1 down in the bottom. Trying to do the best he can to slow the onslaught of the spider. Mid spider will fall immediately, and Smash Mouth's going to rotate top to try to save their fort. It looks like they're going to be able to. No significant damage on this fort yet. Zool will get taken out. Couldn't stand against the onslaught of Zagara and her spider resistant. A lot of damage coming out on Raynor as well, but he's gonna get away to safety. And so this mule selection may wind up paying out in spades for Smash Mouth All-Stars, as every round a lot of these buildings get to very low health, but even with 1 hit point left, that can come all the way back to full, and then the spiders have not really gained much other than a brief tempo advantage. Big fight down in the bottom. Hyperion is going to put a lot of damage out on the side of Big Damn Heroes. Zagara is going to get taken out. Uther's going to fall as well. And this is a screaming change in the tide of battle on the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars. They've been bullied and picked on all game long, just suffering takedown after takedown. And they finally said, you know what? Enough. We're going to dive in there. We're going to kill someone. And we don't give a big damn care about who it's going to be. Gem count fairly even for both teams in the bank. Smash Mouth has enough for a turn in. Looking to find a moment to do so. Most of the gems are on Jaina. Johanna should be able to absorb all the shots from Li Ming to allow these gems to hit the bank and transform into spiders. So a really close match. I mean, at this stage of the game, we're 13 minutes in. Johanna acting like she has very zero fear, and with fairly good reason, with a Lieutenant Morales at her back, just instantly restoring her health pool. Both teams at level 14, only 1 fort down on the entire board down in bottom. And so this game may be, we may be in for, you may want to pull out your popcorn, fans, because we may be in for a bit of an extended game here. Top fighter will fall in fairly short order, and Smash Mouth using the waves from the spiders, kind of a pseudo tank to help discourage the Big Damn Heroes from coming in after him. A nice Ring of Frost is going to just cement Big Damn Heroes to the board in the face of the Raynor bullets and the Hyperions, and a triple takedown against Big Damn Heroes as Li Ming, Muradin, and Uther fall. And Smash Mouth All-Stars look to have hit their stride here in the late game. A level up, a talent tier advantage up, and bottom lane pushed in all the way to the wall. And more than that, Smash Mouth have about 10 to 15 seconds to do whatever they want on the board. It looks like they were thinking about taking top, but not quite so much. Looks like they're going to try to secure a camp instead. And I don't think that Big Damn Heroes are going to be in a position to stop this. The heroes are fairly out of position. They know where Smash Mouth is, so I think at this point they're just looking to try and get some exit frags, because the boss will definitely go to the side of Smash Mouth. Lieutenant Morales just patching everybody up, just walking out of the fight like it was nothing. What do you mean we fought a boss? We look fine. We feel fine. So boss doing some work in top. This much pressure should be a certainty for the fort to fall this time. I feel fairly confident about that. Another big set of ultimates going down on Muradin. Not quite enough to get the takedown. Divine Shield escorting him to safety. But Zagara is going to fall, so it's not all sunshine and roses for the Big Damn Heroes. They've got half-health boss barreling down on their wall, and Morales with enough mana to maybe go in for one more wave, getting everybody patched up for one last stab and engagement before the fight is over. And so boss is going to crack through the wall and get, if not all of this tower, at least most of it. And that was certainly how things wanted to go for Smash Mouth. They got a takedown out of the exchange. Man, my frame rate is really choppy on this side. They got the top fort that's been bugging them for a while. They were able to get They were able to get through the wall to get some damage on the keep. And this is excellent communication and map awareness from Smash Mouth. They have exactly 60 gems in hand. They know where all the Big Damn Heroes are, and they just simply go for a turn in, knowing that the opportunity is there, and almost more importantly, denying the counter opportunity from Big Damn Heroes. You can't turn in when spiders already exist, so there's no better zoning tool than getting the spiders yourself. The best defense is a good offense, after all. Smash Mouth trying to find something to do in the meantime. Can't find anybody to pick off just yet. They're having to roam as a 5-man, hopefully bulletproof force. They've been doing fairly well lately, but Big Damn Heroes also in position. They're ready to do some brawling of their own. Looks like a lot of damage is going to come out on Misha, which will expose Rhaegar when the fight reaches his doorstep. But so far, no strong takedowns just yet. Mostly a lot of damage going down against the bottom spider. So the wave's grown quite large, but the spider should fall in bottom before it's done anything terribly substantial. As I say that, though, Hyperion is going to encourage everyone on Big Damn Heroes to leave and maybe not do so much damage. An excellent Maw against Smash Mouth All-Stars. Big Damn Heroes turning this fight around. That Maw was crucial to that, just removing a lot of the damage from play for a minute. A three-person kill against Smash Mouth All-Stars, but they're not over yet. Jaina at critically low health, no help anywhere in sight, and it's going to be a 4-for-0 in the favor of Big Damn Heroes. And so that is exactly what Big Damn Heroes needed to do. In fact, through all that, they managed to keep this top keep. So Smash Mouth won't have the advantage of catapults. And they're gonna be just barely getting back onto the board as these spiders in their way start slamming into their front walls. So excellent hold from Big Damn Heroes, and even though they look like they're a level down right now, I mean they are a level down, but they are about to roar back into this game. Knowing they've got the numbers, knowing they've got the advantage, and would just love the opportunity to take out Raynor to prolong this power play on their side. They fearlessly go in towards mid, scooping up almost free fort, taking no damage, and building this death ball of a wave that Smash Mouth is going to have to spend a little bit of time dealing with. And this is going to be the only large threat on the board for the moment for Big Damn Heroes. Both top and bottom were pushed fairly far back, so by the time all the minions reach the fort, Smash Mouth should have time to come in and deal with it. But what's nice about what Big Damn Heroes did there by pushing mid, well, I'll get to that in a minute. A lot of damage coming down against Muradin. He is going to get taken down. Johanna at critically low health. The Hill Beam's on her. She's going to stand. And it's going to be 2 takedowns against Big Damn Heroes as Uther and Muradin will be the initial takedowns. We may not be over yet. Zagara is going to get away. So 2-0 in favor of Smash Mouth All-Stars. They've hit their level 20 talent tier. Looks like they're going to try and finish off this keep, which has eluded them for far too long. And possibly more after clearing the keep. They've got numbers for at least 30 more seconds. They may have the damage to try and go in on core here. Zagara just taking punishment from the skies from all of Jaina's attacks. It's going to be a further advantage for Smash Mouth All-Stars. Muradin, or rather Misha, trying desperately to hold on as best as they can, and all this damage may be enough to take out the Big Damn Heroes core. Morales doing a very nice job keeping Jaina alive, switching the target to Raynor, and all the damage just isn't quite there. It looks like the core is gonna be able to hold if Big Damn Heroes can start to get a couple takedowns. And this fight didn't go quite the way that Smash Mouth wanted to go. They had to sacrifice 2 heroes in order to get the core down to sub 25%. 3 heroes, I'm sorry, instead. And Big Damn Heroes need to make a play soon and decisively. They don't have enough gems just yet to answer with spiders. But they do have a power play on the board, only staring down a Morales and a Raynor for another 30 to 45 seconds. And so I think wisely they're going for boss here. They've already seen the stim pack from Morales. They know that there's not going to be any kind of medevac shenanigans to finish off the core. They should have enough vision that even if somebody needs to hearth away from boss, they'll be able to deal with it. Meanwhile, Smash Mouth, knowing that they are in no position to contest the boss, which they should be aware is coming against them, just trying to push back other lanes as best they can by scooping up this bruiser camp, which is taking a fair bit of time with just the Raynor and Morales working on it. So boss on the side of Big Damn Heroes barreling down on top, 45 gems in hand, still about 20 off of the turn-in. All heroes are back in play, and we'll see what Big Damn Heroes elect to do with this boss. It looks like they're just going to let it go. They don't want to risk another takedown disadvantage. Their core at such low health. They have to be very careful about what targets they prioritize and what risks they're willing to take for getting an advantage in this. On the other hand, you could argue that being at a disadvantage does require you to start taking some risks to make an effort to try and win the game. Big Damn Heroes don't feel like they're in that position yet. They don't have to. Doesn't look like they feel like they have to play any differently from the game they've been doing. Comfortable with the state of the board. And they're only down 1 keep, so it's not panic mode. It's not panic mode yet by any means. There's we got a bit of a break in the action. And I'm going to take this moment to close some of my programs that are going in the back. I suspect that may be contributing to why my computer is running a little choppier. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. Well, hopefully we'll see Belius return. I know this. I'm sure both teams are looking at the board as with the information they've got, trying to figure out, when the game goes live, what are we gonna do? And fortunately, both teams are at full power, so they should be able to make an informed decision, and they won't be able to capitalize on any kind of advantage they've got. The board is currently even right now. Both teams, neither team rather, has enough for a turn-in. Boss has already been claimed, so unless the team wants to make a move for a structure or maybe that bottom siege camp, there's really nothing to do. So we'll see what each team decides to do. And we're back in the game. Glad to see that Belius's connection problems look to have been resolved for the moment. Guess I should have taken that time to maybe look at or talk about some talents, but that's what you get when you get volunteers and amateurs. So I'll apologize, but that's about the extent of what I can do. Raynor and Jaina taking that bottom siege camp. Johanna just standing guard, trying to catch anybody that would be looking to intercept them. Siege camps will go to Smash Mouth, but with this much time until another objective is available and relevant, Big Damn Heroes have plenty of time to deal with it. But as we say that, Rexxar is going to get taken out by the big overwhelming force of Smash Mouth All-Stars. It's going to be a 5-on-4 advantage for almost a full minute now. They're going to do just a little bit of pushing in, but retreating back, not wanting to sacrifice this advantage that they worked so hard to gain. Enough gems in hand to do the turn-in. Zool will need to get back to put in his 4 gems to the egg sack clutch. Clutch is what they're calling it these days. So not a whole lot of action done with that Rexxar takedown. Just forcing Big Damn Heroes to play safe and not able to challenge at the turn-in. So that Rexxar takedown might have just done nothing more than allowed Smash Mouth to turn into spiders, but those spiders at level 22 are going to represent a very big problem for Big Damn Heroes. If Smash Mouth All-Star, they don't even need to decisively win this fight. They just need to make it take long enough that the mid and bottom spiders can do significant damage, maybe taking out additional keeps. And so that's the fail case they're working on. The best case, if they can ride this spider all the way to the core. But we'll see what happens. Both teams back at full power, everybody in the fight. A lot of ultimates coming off cooldown just now. We'll see what comes down. Divine Shield is going to have to get popped on Uther. A single target Maw. Stimpack is going to go down on Zool. A lot of damage coming down on Zool, rather. He will fall. Uther's going to fall beside it. It's a 4-on-4 fight at the moment. A lot of heroes at critically low health. Muradin's going to fall. Rexxar's going to fall. It's up to Li Ming, an Uther who's a respawned Uther, and a Zagara to stem the tide of damage. But The Spiders are closing in. The Core's at a meager 22%, dropping fast, and that is gonna be game in the side of Smash Mouth All-Stars.
Victorious.
And I think that might be the best example of a game that I've seen where you saw a really clear advantage for one team at the beginning of the game, and then towards the end of the game, you saw a lot of the late game heroes start hitting their power spikes and doing fairly significant damage. Until I want to say it was like level 9, or maybe 10, or maybe after their heroics. Big Damn Heroes went 5-0. They took out 5 heroes without suffering a single death of their own, and it looked like they were controlling the board very well. There were a couple near misses with some towers and spiders that could have given them an XP lead to help propel them farther ahead, but they weren't able to get a whole lot from that. And Smash Mouth All-Stars were able to take the game long enough to start exerting control of their own. And it was a very close match from both sides. I mean, any game where both teams get multiple turn-ins is gonna be an exciting one to watch for sure. So congratulations to both teams. It was an exciting match to cast. I certainly enjoyed it, but unfortunately there is only one W, and today that W is going to go to Smash Mouth All-Stars. So take their Heroes of the Storm team home and go play their Rockstars. And I'm going to sign off here because this terrible joke is only going to get more terrible, and I'll see you all on the Nexus. Take care.